Wilkes Barre Area Media Club. My name is Logan Kragenfels. I'm here with Timothy DeFoor, the Auditor General for Pennsylvania. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here today.
Well, a little bit about myself. As you said, I'm the Auditor General. My job is pretty simple. I look after Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars, making sure that it's spent the way that it's supposed to be spent according to law and according to policy. And whenever you're dealing with tax dollars, they're supposed to be spent in a certain way. My job is to make sure that that happens. And I'm here today to talk about something I'm very passionate about, and that is financial literacy. Financial literacy is important to everybody, whether you're in high school or whether you're out working. Reason being is eventually we're all going to want to save for a house, a car, and to get some type of credit and save for emergencies. And it's important to understand how money works and the proper way to go about doing things with regards to your money. So I was here talking to students today about that, but also talking to Olivia Green, who was the winner of our financial literacy activity workbook, which is a statewide competition where we asked students from across the state to draw the cover of our activity workbook, which is going to be distributed to kids all across the state. And Olivia Green, who's in the 9th grade here, was our winner.
So you are now in your second term of Auditor General. So tell me a little bit early on, since high school, since middle school, since you were a child, how your career path led you to where you are today.
So it's kind of interesting, and I was just talking to the 9th grade principal about this. Back when I was in middle school, high school, I never had any aspirations to do this. And I knew back then that I wanted to go after people who use taxpayer dollars to make sure that they were using it the right way and that they weren't committing fraud. Knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the confidence in myself to do what was needed to be done to get there until a college professor kind of gave me confidence where he showed me that, yeah, Tim, you can do this. And so that led me into a career in law enforcement with the Attorney General's office and the Inspector General's office, going after people who did steal from the government. I never really wanted to get involved in politics. There's one thing that I hated as a young adult, it was politics. And especially things that are going on today that, even more people hate politics. But I knew that in order for me to do the work that I love, but also give back to the community, which is something that I had done my entire life, I had to get over something that I didn't necessarily like. And so I ran for this office, and the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania felt that I was the right person to do that. And last year I was sworn into my second and final term.
So today, of course, you're at the high school, but walk me through a normal day of you. Like, who are you talking to? Do you travel a lot?
Yeah, we travel a lot. We travel a lot. Going to different schools, speaking to the students, but also speaking to business leaders from across the state. My day could go from meeting with the governor, meeting with a U.S. senator, meeting with a congressperson or local legislator, discussing things financial and discussing some of the work that we do to assure taxpayer dollars are being spent a certain way. So, but most of my day is spent planning audits and working around audits, and that's how we determine if things in government are in fact working. We perform audits, and as a result of those audits, one of the things that happens is if there's an issue that we identify in government, then what we will do, we will come up with a common sense solution in how to fix that problem. So part of what we do and how we do it is to improve government. And that's one of the things that I love. I was raised to understand that government is here to work for us. And it's supposed to work a certain way. And I'm really happy that I'm now part of that process to help improve government. But my day is kind of all over the place, and one of the things that I love is that it's not the same every single day. And the thing I love most about it is just meeting people and talking about what I do.
The way you speak, I can tell you're all about the finances and all
Absolutely.
about your job.
Absolutely.
So if you had to talk to somebody that maybe wanted to get into the government, wanted to get into finances, what are a couple hints that are just tricks that you can tell them to help them out with their process?
Understand how government works. Right now, if you watch the news, depending on what news channel you watch, government may be working great for some people, and one news network may be working bad at another. Take the time for yourself to understand how government works, and go back to the founding of this country to where we are today. Understand how government works, but also give back to your community. So, and I felt that whenever I gave back to my community, that was a lesson that I learned. So by giving back to my community and also understanding how government works, those are the two things that to this day drive me to do the work that I do. Get involved every day. Take the opportunity to learn something new.
So you say a lot about giving back to the community. So what other hobbies do you have outside of your work?
I work at a food pantry. In the community that I live in, part of the community is an underserved community. And people are either living at or below the poverty line. So my older brother helped start a food pantry working with the local food bank. And I haven't been there lately because I've been busy doing things as Auditor General. That was one of the things that I used to love. And that was one of the ways that I felt I needed to give back to my community. So there was that. As far as other things, there's a program called Youth in Government that I'm also part of. And Youth in Government, what they do is they teach students, such as yourself, about government. And throughout the school year, they draft legislation. And then in April, they all come to the Capitol and they actually act as legislators. So they get to learn firsthand how the entire process of our laws work. So those are two things that I love to do. When I do have spare time, I'd like to spend it with my family. My stepson who's playing football at Rutgers, and I do like to golf and fish as well.
And for my last question, so I see that you absolutely love this position, but if you weren't here today, what else do you see yourself doing?
What else would I see myself doing? That is a tough question because this is something I always wanted to do. I probably see myself probably back in law enforcement. I was a special agent with the Attorney General's office, and that was a position that I loved. So if I wasn't doing this, I possibly see myself still doing that.
Wilkes Barre Area Media Club, my name is Logan Cranfills. Thank you again. Tim DeFoor, PA Auditor General, thank you for watching and have a great day.